Hey makeup friends, today I'm going to be doing a collaboration with a few creators here on YouTube. So we have Leora Hallberg, we have Angelica Nyqvist, Karen Harris, and last but certainly not least, Heather Austin as well. I am going to link all of these women's channels down below. Please be sure to go and check them out as well. Tell them I said hi, give them some love and support because I know they would appreciate that. There is so much that I can say about all of these women, but suffice it to say they are all creative spirits in and of their own. They all bring something unique and different to this platform. Karen is known for doing tan girl friendly swatches and giving reviews from that perspective. Angelica is so into colorful makeup and fashion, and she rocks the hell out of those styles. Leora is newer to me, but she's also a very creative spirit and does a lot of colorful makeup. She also features a lot of hair wrap tutorials on her channel. I think she's doing 2 every month at this point. Not something I've ever played with, but very interesting to watch nonetheless. And then of course we also have Heather, who just likes to have fun with makeup, and that really translates on her channel. It's just so delightful watching her just create and play and review her makeup purchases. With that all said, I also want to say that this video is somewhat sponsored. I haven't been paid for these products, but I was provided the products, and the products that I'm talking about are hair extensions from Irresistible Me. So I want to first thank Irresistible Me for reaching out and inviting me to try their products, and I really want to give a special thanks to them for allowing me to just use them how I want and share my honest opinions with you. I have heard from other brands recently where they have said, we'd like to give you products in exchange for a positive review, and if you're not happy with the product, we'll pay for you to return it to us. And those ones I always turn down because I am not going to give a positive review on something unless it truly genuinely is positive. I'm not going to test a product out and then surreptitiously send it back to the brand and never let you guys know about my true experience with it, because that's just, to me, lying. So Irresistible Me right out of the gate just has integrity, and I really appreciate that, and so I'm very grateful for the products that they sent me. And I'm going to do this as a voiceover style just for the hair part of it, because playing with extensions is new to me. This is only my second time actually applying them, and also I want to provide you with information about the brand and the products, and doing that and looking down, and I have a heat styling tool here beside me. It's a recipe for disaster. So let's get straight into that part of this video.
So I just started out by touching up the straightening that I had already done on my hair. If you're new to my channel and you're not familiar, I have wildly curly, frizzy hair. So I did do my best to straighten it, but my straightener is very old and I am not skilled at this at all. But I wanted to at least touch up the top part because that's what's going to be visible once the extensions are in. And then once I had done that, I put most of my hair up, and then the scraggly bits at the very back I just twisted up and clipped to the base of my head because they're going to get covered by the extensions anyway, and I find that that just helps it to blend in a little bit better. And I just want to quickly apologize in advance. The audio that's about to follow is not fantastic because I got a new mic for Christmas and I don't know how to use the damn thing. So when I recorded what follows, I did that first, but I had the mic backwards, so all it picks up is the bloody laptop blowing air. So you can hear me, but there is background noise, and me trying to take out the background noise in audio, like in editing, it sounds super tinny, so I apologize. I will figure my shit out eventually, I promise. I'm sorry. Alright, so I'll give you some information about the extensions. So as I said, the brand that sent these to me is called Irresistible Me. They are going to be linked in the description box down below. It's not an affiliate link, but I just wanted to put it in there for ease of reference. They have 17 different shades to choose from, and the shade that I chose is Rosewood, number 99J, and it is the perfect match to my current hair color. For frame of reference, I have dyed my hair with Garnier's tempting raspberry shade. So this rosewood color blends absolutely perfectly, but they have everything from the whitest of blondes to the blackest of blacks, and these extensions can be colored as well. So if you do have more like a fashion color or something that doesn't match exactly, you can alter the extensions to fit your hair type. They can also be heat styled as well as cut and curled, so you can really customize them to fit whatever style you want them to be. They do have two different lines, so there's the classic or silky touch, and then they have the royal as well. The silky touch is designed specifically for newbies to extensions such as myself. They are made with 100% human hair, and they do have excellent quality. The royal blends are also made with 100% human hair, but they use a special treatment on these to add extra silkiness and durability, and ultimately this line of products is going to last a bit longer, and it's going to be the closest match that you can get to completely unprocessed hair. Regardless of which option you choose though, you have quite the range to choose from. So not only, like I said, are there 17 different shades to choose from, but you can also customize the composition in terms of the length of the extensions as well as the total weight of the hair that you receive. So they do offer them in 100-gram sets, 140-gram sets, which is what I received, and a 200-gram set. I opted for 16-inch length, and they do range from 14 inches up to 24, and depending on the weight of the set that you get is going to determine how many pieces you receive. As well, you'll see me show a clip of the 4-clip weft, and that can actually be purchased separately if you just want to increase the volume in your hair or the length. That on its own is not enough to give like the full effect. But if you just want a little bit of a boost to your natural hair, that is a good option for you. And as well, on their website, they do offer clip-in ponytails. So if you don't want to just do extensions, you can purchase a ponytail. Now, in preparation for filming, or I guess recording this voiceover portion, I was just reviewing the information that Irresistible Me sent me, and they had suggested that I talk about how easy they are to clip in and how easily the clips open. And my dumbass was like, what do you mean the clips open? Huh? Because I'd just been using them like a comb, you know, like a hair comb where you kind of push it up a little bit and then twist it and pull it back down. I had no idea, and I should have known. They're called clips. I should have known that they were actually clips. So I'm going to insert a little video here that I took just showing the fact that I can open these with one hand, close them with one hand. They really are remarkably easy to use. But I wore them all day without having actually properly clipped them into place, and they never slid, they never fell out. I wasn't having any issues like that, so I can only imagine just how much more secure they're going to be when I use them properly. Overall, I'm just really impressed with these extensions. I think they look very natural. They blend in beautifully with my hair. They feel nice. They don't feel artificial in any way. And I actually like their website as well because it is very easy to navigate, and there are a lot of options on there for receiving assistance in terms of picking the shades, picking what's best for you. They have videos on how to apply them, all of that kind of thing, and I just think that's really helpful.
And there we have it. I now have longer hair than I've ever had in my life, and arguably healthier hair than I've ever had in my life as well. I love how thick and long my hair is. I love that I now have this option to go from my short hair to long hair. I'm so happy with these. I really am so happy with them. I'd like to get a curling iron just so that I can add a bit of curl to it. I do have my straightener down here. I tried using the straightener, but I'm not experienced with really long hair and curling with, I'm not used to curling my hair. We'll put it that way. I have curly hair. I've never had to do it before. So there's a bit of a learning curve with the straightener. I'd rather just get something that I can just wrap the hair around really quickly. So I think now that I know just how easy these are to apply, this is the kind of thing that I can see myself wearing very frequently. So I think it's worth me investing in a curling wand, curling iron. What are they? I don't even know what they're called. That's how unfamiliar I am with them. But just something so that, you know, like these will eventually lose the amount of curl that they came with. So I just want to be able to touch that up and style it a little bit more. But right out of the box, very, very happy with these. All right, and now it is time to move on to the makeup side of things. And when we were talking about this collab, we decided that it would be fun to incorporate the Pantone colors of the year for 2021. Those are Ultimate Gray and Illuminating Yellow. I frankly love the combination of gray and basically anything, but particularly gray and yellow. Gray and pink is a very close second, but gray and yellow, they just play off each other so nicely. And it always reminds me of like that moment during a rainstorm where things start to break up in the sky and the sun starts to come through. And it always just sort of like reminds me of hope. I know that may sound super cheesy, but there it is. And what better sentiment going into 2021 than hope? Here's hoping for a lot of things to be better in 2021 than they were in 2020. But at any rate, that is what I'm going to be incorporating on my eyes, are grays and yellows. I haven't fully decided what exactly it is I'm going to do yet, but it's going to be gray and yellow. So let's get started. I'm going to do my base makeup. I'm going to do a little bit of chitty chatting with you guys, but I will list everything that I'm using in the description box down below just so that I don't get myself confused and sidetracked, because it's very easily done. Now, I'll say, when I was a kid, I used to cry every New Year's. I mean, frankly, I used to cry a lot. I still kind of do. But I used to cry every New Year's Eve because I never really saw it as the start of something new. I always saw it as the end of something else. And so it always like field? Wow. So it always felt like something negative to me. And I would get very nostalgic, and I never wanted to move past the year that I was currently in. And I guess maybe in a way that speaks to the fact that I had a relatively happy childhood. So it was never like I was trying to escape something the way in which I think a lot of us are trying to escape 2020 this year. But it always just seemed like a sad moment to me. And I don't really know when that started to shift, but even now I'm still not a huge New Year's Eve fan. It's not that I'm a curmudgeon. It's not that I'm like, boo, New Year's, I hate it. I just don't get like super excited about it. It's just sort of a non-holiday in my mind. But I do enjoy the fact that it's a fresh beginning. And so, as I said, I don't quite know when I started to shift from viewing it as the end of a year to really looking at it as the start of a new year. Probably, if I'm gonna guess, it probably happened when I finally finished school, because to me, the start of the year was always September, like the start of the academic year, because school was obviously the biggest part of my life for many years. I finished school when I was 27, so I had a lot of years of attending. And so I always just kind of viewed New Year's as sort of a mid-year event, not like, because I lived like a student, I guess, so I looked at the year in terms of the academic calendar. But now I really do embrace the idea of a clean slate and a fresh start to a new year. And while I don't necessarily classify my goals going into a new year as resolutions, I just view them as goals and things to work towards throughout the year. So I've actually just brought out my little notebook here where I write down video ideas and all that kind of stuff and try to keep myself organized. And I see that I've written down here what my goals were at the end of 2019. And I also have the goals, because I did a video at the end of last year talking about what I was hoping to accomplish in 2020, and looks like I did some of that, and looks like some of it kind of got scuttled, but we'll go through it and I'll sort of update as we go through this video. But in terms of just numbers and growth, I mean, I'm not super like hyper focused on the numbers, but I would be lying if I said like subscriber count means absolutely nothing. yes and no. I mean, more so it's the community and the engagement with you guys and chatting back and forth and doing live streams, all that kind of thing. That's the stuff that keeps me going. It's not just the numbers on Social Blade or anything like that, but they are an indicator of growth. And they do matter. They are important, and it is good, I think, to have goals, because the goals push me to step outside of my comfort zone. They push me to try a new type of format, try new kinds of products, reach out and do collabs, and just form new friendships with other creators. So the numbers are a reflection of that. So they're not the be-all end-all, but I can't sit here and say, like, I never pay attention to the numbers and I don't care at all, because I do. I do care. Today, I woke up to 7,000 subscribers. Thank you so much. It's just such a surreal number, and I suspect I'm going to say that every time I hit a new milestone, but it's going to continue to fill me with just amazement. Think about that, 7,000 people. That's a lot of people. So looking back at what my goals were for 2020, at the end of last year, my goal for YouTube was to hit somewhere between 7,500 and 10,000. So I didn't quite achieve that, but I am not one bit disappointed or upset, because keeping that goal in mind keeps me pushing forward. So I came very close to that, and I am very, very happy with where I'm at. So hopefully by the end of 2020, I'll be 11,000 maybe. Is that realistic? 10,000 to 11,000? Why don't we put that out there? I feel like I can do that. I've gained 1,000 in the last couple of months. Maybe we should aim higher. Why don't we say 12,000? Let's say 12,000 as a goal. Again, I mean, it's not like the world's going to come crashing down if I don't reach it, but it's good to have goals. So that's right. That number blows my mind. Honest to God, every number blows my mind, but 12,000 seems unreal. But we're going to set it as a goal. For goals for this year, it's more so about the physical side of things. Like I took up running in the spring of this year and managed to achieve the goal of running a 5K, which I had first ever wanted to do when I was in high school, and had just always taken the approach of wanting to like just dream about it but not actually try for it. You know what I mean? With the exception of a couple times in law school that I put my mind to it, but then just gave up rather quickly because it's hard, and it is hard. But I stuck it out this year and I did it. And next summer, or spring, I guess, I intend to start training again. With us going into lockdown, gyms are closed, all that. I don't have a treadmill, and I live in Canada where we currently have like 1.5 feet of snow outside. So realistically, running in the winter is probably not going to happen. I know it's not impossible, but realistically, it's probably not going to happen. So in the spring, I want to start again, and I want to train for a 10K. And that is my big goal for next summer, is to run 10K. I came fairly close this summer. I was able to run about 7K, but it's time. And I now know definitively that if I could do 5, I can do 10. It's just a matter of training. I know I can do it. So I'm really excited to get started on that and to crush that goal, because I know I can do it. I just have to put in the work, and I'm so excited for it. Whew, I went in heavy with the bronzer. Oh my goodness. If I can run 10K, I don't really give a crap what the number on the scale says, to be honest, and I don't care what my pant size is. I just want to be able to run the 10K, damn it. So, my God, I love this highlighter. Gotta crush on myself. The hair, the highlighter, feeling it. Okay, moving on. Hi. All right, so in doing gray and yellow, I'm going to have to use like a bunch of different palettes. I don't have one palette that has both in there, at least none that I can think of off the top of my head. And trust me, I've just spent far too much time staring at my palette collection. So it's going to be a mixed bag. So this isn't really a tutorial. This is just me playing with color. So let's just dive into it. I am going to use the Starlit palette, and I'm going to start off with this shade here as a transition shade. And while I apply my makeup, let's talk about what some of my goals were for this year and how I made on with them. So last year I had divided my goals into 4 different categories. I had health, family, work, and my channel. We've talked about the channel, and there are still some goals on here that are just going to be continued for this year, like consistently putting up content, doing more collabs. I've had so much fun doing collabs this year, and it's been so great getting to know other creators. It's just been a great year for growth in that respect, and I really value the friendships that I'm making with other creators, because not only are they fantastic people, but they also get the creative blocks that you can sometimes face. They understand when you're like a certain comment really gets you down, like they get the process of it as well. So it's been really fun getting to know new people this year, and I'm excited to see who I meet in 2021. And then looking at health, my number one goal, and I think this was the overarching goal throughout all of the year in any category, and that was to go down a slide with Bennett on my lap, and check that one off. I did that this summer. I incorporated footage of that into a video, and it still just warms my heart thinking about it. It just, oh, that was such a huge accomplishment for me, because I never got to do that with Aspen, but I got to do it with him, and it was amazing. It was so, I thought I would cry when it finally happened, but I was just so happy that I just giggled the entire way down. Another health goal was to get below 200 pounds, which I have also done. I wanted to do a learn to run course. Yup. And then I had build muscle, start going to the gym. Well, 2020 had other plans in mind for that, so I didn't get to do so much of that, but I did do a lot of like home-based workouts. I've kind of let it slide by the wayside recently, so I do need to get back on that, and that is something that I want to focus on going into the new year, and I think I'm going to try to incorporate it into my channel as well, because I know there are quite a few people who watch mainly for the weight loss content, so I do want to have some of that, but this is not going to ever become completely a weight loss channel. That's not where I want to take it. But I do want to incorporate some more like challenges and things like that. So that is in its very early planning stages, we'll put it that way. The next category of goals that I had was family, and the main goal there was to be present for the kids and spend more time with them, more quality time, and I guess I can thank 2020 for that one, because we spent oodles of time together, especially back in the spring, because I was working from home at that point. I did start going back into the office. We are considered essential, so I did start going back into the office probably late May, but for a couple of months there, I was home with them. And even when I was going to the office, I was only going in for a few hours at a time, so we got to spend a ton of time over the course of the summer together, and that was amazing. Now that the kids are back in school and work has really started picking up, it's been a little bit more difficult establishing that balance, but I am trying. But I think it's always going to be something that I have to work towards in terms of balancing all the competing demands for my time. But I always make sure that I do spend some time with them every day and really just devote some attention to them, because they deserve that, and frankly it just makes my heart happy as well. So I've got some great kids. They're a lot of fun, especially Bennett's getting a little bit older now, so his little personality is really coming out, and that kid is funny. He is funny, and he knows he's funny, so he just keeps like trying to make us laugh, and it's just adorable. But I also love getting to see him and his sister play together as well, because it's just really nice to see their friendship really growing as well. In terms of work, at the end of 2019, my goal was to become an accredited mediator, and I wasn't able to do that this year because a lot of the courses were canceled because of the situation. And then when they did start offering online courses, just the cost of them with the cost of other things that happened at work was just prohibitive, so it's still on my radar for 2021, but it might have to wait one more year. We'll see, but it is definitely something that I want to do. It's a service that I want to add to my roster. And then there were two other goals that I had, which were to find a new office and to hire a new associate. And we found a new office. We found an office very early on in 2020, and we signed our lease in, I believe, March we signed, or February, and we were supposed to take possession in May, and then the world got put on pause. So we've been paying double rent for quite some time, but we weren't able to move until November. So Friday the 13th in November, we moved offices, and we're still paying double rent because we are looking for a subletter for our previous office, but it'll happen eventually. It'll happen. But it's not been without its growing pains, but it's certainly a much more ideal space for us. We all have our own office now. Before we were rotating, there were 3 lawyers and 2 offices, so we would rotate. We did hire a new associate, so starting in December we had another associate join our team, so we now have 4 lawyers in the building, and my husband is the support staff currently to all of us. So going into 2021, one of my work goals, and my partner shares the same goal, is to hire another support staff person. And we have a candidate in mind, somebody that we're both familiar with, but it's just a matter of the timing. And with Ontario going back into lockdown, it's really not the ideal time for us to make any sort of hiring decisions. So we're gonna have to put a pin in it, but we have an idea of the candidate that we want, and that person would be an incredible fit for our office, and I'm really, really excited. I really hope that it works out because, like I said, my partner and I are both very familiar. I don't want to say too much just simply because I don't know who watches this video. It's not a big secret, but I want to protect that person's anonymity. So I'm just not saying anything too specific, but we're very, very excited. It's something that we've been hoping for since we opened our office back in 2017. So fingers are crossed that the timing will actually work out this year. All right, I need to do some blending. All right, I definitely want to incorporate some glitter, but I think I'm going to do inner corner instead of on the lid. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Just for the lulz. So I'm going to start off with some glitter glue, and then place the glitter. I'm going to use a yellow pencil liner in the waterline. This one's from ColourPop in the shade Crossed. And then I'm just going to use a black felt tip liner for my upper lash line. And just to really play up the whole yellow side of things, I'm going to use a yellow mascara on my lower lash line. Well, what better time than New Year's Eve to wear false lashes, right? So I am going to go ahead and add some magnetic false lashes from Kiss. And they're in the shade, well, shade Style Tempt. And there we go. There is the finished eye look. I think it's so fun. I love gray and yellow together. I really think they just play so nicely together. But we gotta do lips. So I have a dark gray liquid lipstick that I'm going to apply. It's from KBD Vegan Beauty in the shade Wolf. I might regret this, but what the hell, we're playing. I'm going to pat a little bit of the yellow glitter on there as well. I don't actually regret that. It's just pretty. I like. Okay, I'm going to bump you out. We've got one more thing we need to add to make this truly a New Year's Eve look, and then we're going to wrap it up. So, 1 second. Is it New Year's Eve without New Year's Eve appropriate earrings? My little champagne flutes. Love these guys. They're just so much fun. Much better. And there we go. There is my completed New Year's Eve look featuring gray and yellow. They have specific names, but I can't remember what they are. Ultimate gray? Maybe? I don't know. The Pantone colors of the year, gray and yellow by any other name. I cannot wait to go and see what the other ladies in this collab have created. Their videos are going to be linked in the description box down below, so again, please go and check them out as well. I'm also going to have a link for the hair extensions in case you are interested, so I highly recommend them. At any rate, however you are celebrating this New Year's Eve, I hope that you have a wonderful night, and I wish you nothing but the best for 2021. Thank you so much for being such an important part of my 2020, and I will see you next year. Until then, just be a decent human being. Bye for now.